might be interested in. And so again, this allows us to spatially target some of our restoration or our conservation work if we're interested in doing that. The data can also be summarized for municipal jurisdictions. So the Huck 6 watershed boundaries don't necessarily match up with our municipal jurisdictions. And we know that municipalities have a really important role to play in the management of riparian areas. So we can then overlay the riparian intactness data with the municipal boundaries, and we can summarize the information by municipality to better understand the overall condition of the riparian areas within each of those municipal jurisdictions that intersect the watershed. And all of this data and all of the summaries that I've shown you for the intactness, all of the mapping examples, you can also create similar types of data and information for the pressure assessments as well as the priority assessment. So here I'm just illustrating for you the overall priority, conservation and restoration priority for the mid-Pembina, and then also how those areas spatially are mapped based on the left and the right bank. So all of this data provides a really important baseline that we can use to track the condition, the change in condition through time. And it also provides really important information that stakeholders can start to use to inform discussions around management targets. So setting targets for conservation or restoration, or setting targets for length of shoreline that we want to be in certain intactness categories, which then allows us to take on the ground specific action to realize those various goals. So we've created 3 different reports for each of the Huck 6 watersheds, and all of the data associated with those Huck 6 watersheds are included in those individual reports. We just delivered the Lower Pembina report to the Athabasca Watershed Council in early June, so that report is still in draft, but it should be finalized quickly here. And Sarah can confirm this, but I believe that the reports for the upper and the mid Pembina are available on Athabasca Watershed Council website if folks are interested in going and having a look. The methods are detailed in a lot more detail in those reports, and then you can also have a look at the data in each of those individual reports. Before I close, I just wanted to speak to some of the things that I see as being the major strengths and opportunities of this particular satellite-based assessment method. And the first is that because this tool can assess really large areas, it can be used to quickly identify areas on the landscape that are in really good condition and those that are in not so good condition. And so this information is really good for helping us to more effectively target our restoration and conservation efforts. So if we have a limited amount of time and money to spend on habitat restoration, it really helps immensely for us to know where on the landscape the greatest need might exist. And so it's really helpful for us to really focus our attention. And it should be noted that this method certainly does not replace more detailed site assessments. And in fact, this method can be used, in the data that it creates can be used to help us target areas where we want to go onto the ground and collect more detailed field-based information that can then be used to inform site-specific management questions or site-specific management plans. The other advantage of this method, as I've illustrated today, is that having a single standardized method allows us to do comparisons across different water bodies, across municipalities, and between different watersheds. And so understanding the relative condition of water bodies to each other or neighboring municipalities is a really powerful piece of information for us to help start having conversations around restoration and conservation targets at multiple different spatial extents. So with that, I'm not sure if we're taking questions now or leaving questions to the end,